OTR Halloween Holidays presents The Baba Ghoulie Show.
With cartoons from Watchwaddle.
Tell Dr. Conway that we're here.
Lauren, it's good to see you.
Thank you, Charles. This is Grace Thomas, the patient I phoned you about. Dr. Conway.
I'm pleased to meet you, Miss Thomas. Dr. Wright has told me a great deal about you. Shall we go up to my study? Miss Thomas, I'd like you to meet my assistant, Dr. Gilchrist.
I'm pleased to meet you, Miss Thomas. We're delighted to have you join us here. We've been expecting you. I have some things to do, Doctor. If you'll excuse me.
Certainly.
Shall we make ourselves comfortable?
Charles, I finally convinced Grace that the best thing for her would be to place herself in your care, and that with your help, her recovery here would be a certainty.
Thank you, Lauren. I'm sure we'll do everything possible to make your stay here pleasant and comfortable. Your decision to come here was indeed a wise one.
I hope you'll be able to help me.
I'm sure I can. To start with, we'll see that you get plenty of fresh air and rest. Then, of course, my treatments, I'm sure you'll be benefited by them.
My dear, you're a very lucky girl. Dr. Conway's one of the finest men in the field. I think you're most fortunate that he has accepted your case.
I'm very grateful.
If you don't mind, Doctor, I'd like to show Miss Thomas to her room.
Sure.
Come with me, Grace. I'll see that you're comfortably settled.
Oh, by the way, Grace, I'll get in touch with your father and ask him to send you the things that you'll need. I'm sure he'll be most pleased with your decision.
Thank you.
Good night, Grace.
Good night.
I'll look in on you before you retire. Father, what's this business about a father?
No need to get excited, Charles. Everything's been taken care of.
Our agreement was that the patients you brought to me were to have no relatives, no ties whatsoever.
And I tell you that this one has no ties.
Precisely what does that mean?
Grace Thomas committed suicide.
Committed suicide?
Yes. Her bag and coat will be found floating in the bay.
I think you'll find this room comfortable. And don't worry, we have everything you need right here until your clothes arrive.
You're very kind.
These things should fit you. You'll find the other things you want in the bath.
It's awfully good of you.
Not at all. Now, I'll be back later and bring you some warm milk. And we'll give you a little sedative. Make you wake up rested.
To youth.
To eternity.
I'm more than anxious to see your last experiment on Jedro, Charles.
Jedro? Very well. Come with me, I'll show you.
Is this Jedro?
Of course it's Jedro. This is the first such reaction I've had. When we attempted to activate the glandular flow, he slipped into this state of suspended animation. Traumatic paralysis. Probably internal radiation burn.
Will he be all right?
I'm afraid not.
Well, perhaps you could counteract the treatment.
That's impossible.
Then what are we going to do?
Wait. Wait and hope that he comes out of this state of shock. If there's been no permanent injury to the brain, he may recover.
And if not?
If not, then, Lauren, we continue our experiments further. We must have younger subjects. The radiation must be carefully calculated in relation to the subject's age and metabolism. Somehow there must be a way.
But isn't it possible to do something to restore him back to normal?
Why are you so concerned about him?
I'm afraid we're in a bit of difficulty.
What do you mean difficulty? What difficulty?
A relative of his showed up.
A relative?
Harry Jedro has a sister. She's been to my office trying to locate him.
So?
Jedro never said anything about a family. I took it for granted.
You took it for granted. In science, nothing is taken for granted.
But what are we going to do? What'll I tell his sister?
That, my dear fellow, is your problem. Wait in my office for me. I've got to see Grace. Come in, Lobo. Go ahead. Well, my dear, you look radiant. If I were Rembrandt, I'd paint a portrait of you. Tell me, you comfortable here?
Yes. I like it here very much.
Good. Now tell me, my dear, what seems to be bothering you?
I don't know, Doctor. I'm always so frightened.
Frightened of what, Grace?
I'm just afraid.
You mustn't be afraid, not of anything.
Often I want to cry, just cry. You know, I have no one to turn to.
Now, my dear, from now on, that'll all be different. I want you to have absolute confidence in me. Trust me implicitly. And come to me with your problems, no matter what they are.
Yes, Doctor.
And tonight, I want you to have a good night's rest. Tomorrow, you'll feel better.
I'll try.
You're very young and beautiful. Most women would envy your loveliness. I feel your life has been empty of certain things that are due a young girl. Affection, attention.
You're very kind to me, Doctor.
Now, my dear, I want you to promise me one thing. You're not to discuss your affairs with anyone but me. You understand?
Yes, Doctor.
Dr. Wright is waiting for you in your office.
Oh, thank you. I'd almost forgotten. Well, good night, my dear. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night, Doctor.
Mm-hmm. I've just looked in on Grace. I don't anticipate any great difficulty in getting her straightened out.
Well, I'm glad, and I hope she makes an excellent subject for you.
I've given her the sedative.
Thank you, Sharon.
I'll be getting back to town. Good night, Sharon. Good night, Charles.
Good night, Lauren.
Oh, these must be Grace's. I'll take them to her.
What's that?
I'll take these to Grace.
No. Let me have them.
You're getting careless. You forgot these.
Oh, well, I am sorry, Charles. Good night.
Good night. What happened, Lobo?
I found him in the garden.
Huh? What were you doing there?
I was trying to find my way back to civilization. I've been hitchhiking. A guy dropped me off in the middle of nowhere and I got lost.
I don't think so.
Look, mister, I know what you got in the back of your mind, but you're wrong. I didn't come here to steal anything.
Then why have you come here?
I told you, I got lost.
You told me a fabricated story which wouldn't convince a child. No, Mr. Scott, you're not being very clever at all.
Scott? Where'd you get that name? My name's Houston, Mark Houston.
You're Frank Scott, killer and thief.
You got the wrong boy.
Are you sure? I don't think I have. There was a detailed description of you in the police bulletin this morning. You're wanted for killing a man in a holdup.
You're sick, mister. You ought to see a doctor.
I happen to be a doctor, and I'm in full possession of my faculties. You see, last night's paper carried your story in the front page. Leather jacket, about 6 feet tall.
All right, I wear a leather jacket, and I'm not a midget, so what?
Nothing. Here, have a cigarette.
Thanks.
Just as I thought, Frank Scott. You seem to be a bit wobbly.
I'm all right.
Why don't you sit down?
I'll stay.
Sit down.
You must be out of your head.
Why else would a man wander 20 miles from civilization?
I told you exactly how it happened.
I hardly think so. You know, I pity you.
Look, Doc, the last thing I need right now is pity. Let's just call it a day, huh? We'll say it's been charming and I'll be on my way.
Your persistence is admirable, but highly impractical. I have no intention of turning you over to the police. Perhaps I don't believe in capital punishment. Oh, I have a better idea. I'm willing to offer you sanctuary. Here.
Sanctuary for me? Well, that's real fine. Except nobody does something for nothing.
I'm happy you've decided to be honest with me.
I haven't decided a thing. I'm just curious. I'd really like to find out what it is you want from me.
Perhaps some assistance. I might easily use a man like you.
I don't follow you.
You will, Scott. I'd explain further, but it's late. I suggest we both retire and we'll take up the details of our little bargain in the morning.
Now, wait a minute. I didn't make any bargain.
Oh, yes, you have. You made your bargain when you pulled the trigger and shot that man down. I suggest you keep that in mind. You're a killer, Scott, a hunted man. Take all the help you can get. It may mean the difference between life and death.
Yeah. You got this pretty well figured out, haven't you?
I am a scientist. Thinking is my business.
All right. I guess you win.
I'm afraid it has to be right, doesn't it? Take Mr. Scott, or Mark Houston, if you want it that way. Take him to his room. See that he has some other clothes. Here, take you to your room.
Yeah, I know. Doc, I'm afraid you're a very clever man.
Thank you, Mr. Houston.
Cold. Eat, he says. Food and nutrition are important, he says. What a sap I was to get myself stuck in a stinking joint like this. 6 weeks of get up, go to bed, do this, don't do that, walk here, sit there. Like an animal in the zoo, they got me all caged up. I've had a lot of time to think since I've been here. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get out of here. It's about time you got here with that toast. Now, maybe the eggs won't taste so bad. Yeah, cold. You can't do anything right. Now, what are you looking at me like that for? Go on, get back to the kitchen. You make me nervous. Look, you make me nervous.
Why do you have to pick on him like that? He's nice to you, and you're always on his back.
I'd like to break his neck. Look, put that book down, will you, and listen to me. How long do you think the doc can keep me here?
Listen to this.
I don't want to listen to nothing.
Her hair fell free and hung thick and soft on her white shoulders. Suddenly he released her, and she slipped from his strong arms. A wave of weakness swept through her body.
Junk.
It's none of your business what I read.
I don't like you reading when I'm talking to you.
There's no reason for you to throw my books around either.
I'd like to take all them books and throw them into a furnace. Guys make a fortune scribbling junk like that, and idiots like you spend your life reading it.
Oh, you're in a lousy mood.
It's a lousy world.
So you fight everything and everybody, right?
Yeah, do you know any other way?
Morning.
Wow. Hello.
I'm Mark Houston.
I'm Natalie Andrews. Sourpuss over there is Danny Green. He's wearing a chip on his shoulder this morning, but once you get used to him, he gets worse. Coffee?
Yeah, thanks.
When did you get here?
Last night, late.
You don't know how glad I am to see a new face around here. If I had to put up with Smiley over there another day, I think I'd scream.
So scream.
What brought you here? I know that's a little blunt, but let's face it, we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, that we are. I really won't know what brought me here until I talked to the doc this morning. What about you?
Oh, I guess I was kind of run down. Just couldn't coordinate myself. Sort of mixed up, too. But I've been here 4 months, and I'm in the pink. That doctor sure snapped me out of it. I might be going home soon.
Home soon? Home to what? You got nobody waiting for you. You feel fine? Okay. Don't tell me about it. I ain't fine. I ain't fine at all.
That's not a very nice way to talk to a lady.
I don't want to talk to that lady at all. Keep her off my back. And you keep off my back, too. I don't want to talk to nobody.
Nobody wants to hear what you like and don't like either, but that doesn't stop you from complaining all the time.
Don't listen.
Seems to me you started all this. If you want to argue and complain, go out and scream at the wall, but don't do it here. I don't like it.
What you don't like don't matter. Doesn't make any difference what you don't like. I can say whatever I want and to whoever I want. It don't matter.
Before you do any more, Sam, you better do some listening. I'm going to be here for a while, and we'll have to get along. The only way we'll do that is if you start acting like a man instead of a school kid.
And you come waltzing in here out of the clear blue sky and act like a big wheel. Well, listen, big wheel, I ain't having any here. I ain't having any. Don't act with a big wheel with me. Come here for one day, having any here. I ain't having any. Don't act with a big wheel with me.
Does he get like that very often?
2 or 3 times a day. I don't know what gets him so steamed up.
Probably doesn't know himself. Excuse me.
What about your coffee?
It's cold.
That's what to do. But your pictures, that's what they are. Don't do this. Don't do that.
He's having his trouble again, Doctor.
Give him the usual amount of R16.
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah, do this. Don't do that. Big shot. Everybody's a big shot. That's what you like. Come on, hurry up with that, will you? Will you hurry up with that? I'm burning up.
All right, Dan. He'll be fine in a minute.
I've seen guys go through that before. You feel better now, Danny?
We knocked before entering a room here. What do you want?
I thought you might like a little help. I've had some experience with guys like this.
I've taken care of him. But thank you anyway. Take him to his room. Let him have some rest for a while.
Come on, Danny.
Come in, Mark. I'm glad to hear you're willing to help. You're a clever young man. I've decided you can be of assistance to me.
I'm real handy to have around, especially if you want somebody to bandage a gunshot wound.
That's not exactly what I had in mind. I said last night we'd have a little talk this morning.
All right. You talk and I'll listen.
I've dedicated my life to a medical project that most scientists consider beyond the realm of possibility. But believe me, it's not impossible. To the true scientist, nothing is impossible. Look here. Every human body has 16 glands. Here, for instance, is the thyroid gland, which controls human growth. And up in here, the pituitary, which maintains a proper balance when a man is fully grown. My researches on these glands have taken me far beyond what was formerly known to be fact. I have the secret of life, of growth, and the cause of death.
That should make you man of the year.
This is not to be taken lightly.
Sorry, Doc.
You know the glands control our size, our shape, and even our intelligence. I've discovered that dwarfs and giants are made by the effect of vitamins on certain of the endocrine glands. What do you suppose would happen if we could control the flow of vitamins to those glands?
I don't know. I guess you could create a dwarf or a giant whenever you wanted to.
Exactly. My servant Lobo proves that theory. He came a puny, broken man. Now he possesses the strength of an Hercules.
And the brain of a chicken.
Unfortunate. His brain was injured, and there was nothing I could do for him.
So now you've got yourself an overgrown moron for a pet, huh?
You're an understanding man. One of the few I've ever met. I have discovered how to add to the 16 existing glands a 17th one, artificially developed. A new gland.
A new gland? What for?
This 17th gland is the secret of youth and eternal life. With it, the aging process can be arrested. I can prolong life for thousands of years, perhaps forever.
Forever's a long time, Doc.
It's possible, Mark. Think of it. To be always exactly as you are now. To see the pageants of life go by you while you remain eternally young and vigorous. Suppose you could wake up every morning and see your face untouched by time.
Me?
Yes, you, Mark. You. You can be the first man to have eternal life.
No, thanks, Doc. I'm happy just like I am.
Mark, to prove my theory, I need a completely sound human specimen. Mentally and physically perfect. You are that specimen.
That's where you're wrong. The whole idea's fantastic. It's crazy.
Why is it crazy? Because it's never been done before? Because it can't be bought in a drugstore? They've always called the greatest scientists crazy. Pasteur, Freud, Madame Curie, Ehrlich, many of them. I know my theory is right. I proved it. Eternal life, Mark.
No, not for me, Doc. Like I said before, I'll stay just like I am.
And be burned in the electric chair?
I'd rather do that than be a guinea pig for you.
Mark, this is not the first time a condemned man's life has been offered to him in return for the progress of science.
I haven't been condemned yet, Doc.
Perhaps not, but you're concerned about nothing. I'll take every precaution. The final process will be tested and retested before your final treatment.
Tested, huh? So that's what those other people are here for?
Of course. They're just rungs in the ladder I have to climb. In science, there's always been some necessary sacrifices.
I don't want any part of it. No use talking anymore, Doc. I'm going to get out of here.
Very well. I'm sorry our agreement didn't work out. Shall I call the police now to come and pick you up?
You wait a minute. You tell the police about me, I'll have a few things to tell them about you.
And who'll believe you? Will the police accept your word against mine? You're a hunted man. I happen to be a reputable scientist. Besides, if you were to repeat what I told you, you wouldn't have the proof to substantiate your story. Well, what's it going to be, Mark? Shall I call the police and subject us both to a duel of wits? A duel I'm bound to win?
No.
I'm glad you decided to see it my way.
I don't have much choice, do I?
A very sensible conclusion. Now, you are not to discuss or disclose my conversation or my plans in any way to anyone, at any time, anywhere. Do you understand?
I talk about something nobody believes. Don't worry, Doc. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Fine. Now we can start. Old age will be conquered, and you'll be here to accept the acclaim of a grateful world.
Oh, Grace, this is a wild book. Here, I want you to read it. I have to go now. I have to see the doctor. Be seeing you later, honey. Hi.
Morning.
I was hoping you'd show up. Thought we'd get a little better acquainted.
Oh?
Gonna be around later?
Well, I didn't have any other plans.
I have to see the doc right now, but that won't take long.
Good. In that case, I'll see you after what?
Bye.
Morning. My name's Mark Houston. And what's yours? What's the matter? Don't you want to talk to me?
Grace Thomas.
Grace. Pretty name for a pretty girl. You been here long, Grace?
Yesterday.
Next two of us. I got here last night myself. I didn't think I was going to like it being so far from everything, but now it doesn't seem so bad. Tell me, what do you know about the place?
Nothing.
Well, how'd you happen to come here?
My doctor brought me. He said I'd get well here.
Get well? You look fine. What's supposed to be wrong with you?
I guess you could call it a nervous breakdown. I've been very upset and afraid.
Afraid of what?
I don't know.
Well, sooner or later, everybody's afraid of something. Now, you take me. Yesterday, I was afraid, plenty. But today, it's different. Today, everything's right with the world. I got a nice place to stay, plenty of fresh air to breathe, and real pleasant company.
I wish it were that easy for me.
What's Dr. Conway say?
I can't talk about it.
Why not?
Dr. Conway wouldn't like it.
No, I guess he wouldn't.
Are you going to be here long?
Yeah, it looks that way. We'll be seeing a lot of each other.
That'll be nice.
As long as we're going to be here for a while, we ought to see what the place looks like. How'd you like to take a walk?
Well, I'm supposed to rest.
You've been resting.
I guess it will be all right.
Check, Jedro?
Yes.
Well?
Pulse normal, heartbeat faint but regular, respiration steady, reactions none.
No change, huh?
None.
The gland adapted itself perfectly. Well, we can't check the reaction until he emerges from the cataleptic state.
There should have been some change by now.
Yes, I understand. Well, we just have to wait.
Can you suggest any further treatment, Charles?
No. If we interrupt the process now, we won't have the information we want. We'll just have to wait.
Hello? It's Lauren.
Oh. How are you, Lauren?
I'm all right. But Jedro's sister's outside. No, I haven't talked to her yet. But she's insisting to know the whereabouts of her brother. I don't know what to tell her.
Make out a death certificate for Harry Jedro. Harry Jedro is dead.
Oh, but Charles, he's...
But he's alive.
No, my dear. Jedro is dead.
Hi. The doctor wanted to see me.
Sit down, Natalie, and I'll tell him you're here. Natalie's waiting for you.
Oh. Well, I must say you're very prompt, Natalie. I dare say you're wondering why I had you come in here this afternoon. Well, I think I have some very good news for you.
Yes?
During the last 3 months, you've made tremendous strides. In fact, your improvement has been more than excellent.
I'm so happy, Doctor.
Yes, in all my experience, I have never seen such rapid progress. Natalie, you're almost well enough to leave.
Oh, that's wonderful. When can I go home?
Oh, very soon. Before I let you go, though, there is one final treatment necessary. I'll arrange for the treatment for tonight.
Then when can I go?
In a day or two. Now I suggest you go to your room and relax until it's time.
All right, Doctor.
How many times do I have to tell you I don't want no dinner?
You eat.
I ain't hungry.
Don't worry, Lobo. He'll eat.
Nobody's gonna tell me what to do. Not that ape.
You gotta eat, Danny. It's good for you. How about you? You hungry?
This is the first time I've been hungry in a long time.
Good to hear it. You know, it's a real pretty smile. You ought to use it more often. By the way, Danny, have you seen Natalie?
No.
I haven't seen her since this morning.
Good evening. I'm delighted to see you so happy. I thought you might like a little music with your dinner.
That sounds wonderful, Doctor.
This is one of those rare times when I'm in the mood for music.
I don't need no music.
You're not alone here, Danny. You've got to think about the other people.
Lobo. All right, Lobo. You may take it to her now.
You eat.
Okay, Lobo.
I'm sorry Natalie missed this. I wonder why she wasn't at dinner.
Yes, so do I. I'll see if I can find out.
Don't you enjoy the doctor's music?
Yeah, sure, but we just finished dinner and we missed Natalie. I thought I'd go upstairs and see if she was all right.
Natalie asked for a tray in her room this evening. It's a privilege you all have.
Huh? Thanks. She had a tray up in her room.
Is she all right?
I don't know.
A party girl. A party.
Lobo. 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 Lobo, send them all to bed.
Time for go to bed.
Aye, it is late. Shall we retire?
Good night, Doctor. Good night, Mark.
Night.
Not quite used to the place, Mark, huh? Your room is over here.
Thanks.
sterilized my number 23 scalpel?
Yes, Charles.
This is the night, Sharon. I'm certain of it. The final test. After all the years of preparations and calculations and failures, all pointing us toward this operation, that new mobile cathode should rule out any chance of a voltage variation.
It must, Charles.
It will. We must succeed. All right. Administer the anesthetic. Scalpel. Sponge. Sponge. Clamp. 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 Wipe my brow. Clamp. Sponge. Number 23 scalpel. Brow. Sponge. Now, the gland. Suture.
Yes?
It's Mark. Open the door, Grace. I've got to see him.
What is it?
I want to get you away from this house. You don't know it, but you're in danger.
Danger? Why?
Dr. Conway isn't the kind of a man you think he is.
I don't understand.
I just checked Natalie's room. Her clothes are all there, but she's gone. She's been gone for quite a while. I don't like it, Grace. Conway's a madman. I'm afraid he's done something to her.
How can you say that?
In 8 hours, we'll know the answer.
Grace, he's got some fantastic idea he can work miracles to keep people young forever. He actually told me he wants to use us as guinea pigs. He's even been talking about sacrifices for science. Now, with a mind that warped, there's no telling what he's thinking.
I won't believe that. The doctor's trying to help me. I can't accept what you're saying, Mark.
You've got to accept it. Your whole life depends on it. Look, first thing in the morning, I want you to go and see Conway and get your release. Now, I don't care what you tell him, but somehow convince him you have to go home.
I'm here under my own doctor's advice, and I'm going to stay until I'm well.
Don't you understand? You have to get out of this house before it's too late.
And you'd better get out of this room before Dr. Conway finds you here. I don't think he'd approve.
Grace,
Ready.
26.
26.
50%.
50%.
Reading?
Plus 2.3.
26 and a quarter.
26 and a quarter.
50%.
50%.
Reading?
Plus 2.4.
Increase 2%.
Increase 2%.
Reading?
Plus 2.48.
Increase slowly to 55.
Increase slowly to 55.
Red alert. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. 0. Eight hours on the dot. Is it? No. No, it can't be. How could this have happened? I took every precaution.
Don't be discouraged, child. You'll succeed. All these years of study and hard work can't go unrewarded.
Good morning, Chris. Mark?
Good morning, Doctor.
Doc, I'm going on upstairs. Grace, I'll see you after a while.
Will you come into the common room, my dear? I'd like to talk to you. My dear, you're to be congratulated. Your condition is improved. If you continue in this manner, you'll be entirely well in no time.
I hope so.
Come and sit down. Tell me, Grace, what does a young couple talk about when they walk in the garden? I'm afraid I'm a little too old to remember.
Many things. Mostly about Natalie.
Really? What about her?
Mark seems worried about her.
Why?
He seems to think she's ill or something.
Nonsense, my dear. She made a perfect recovery, and I released her. I drove her to the train this morning myself. She left rather early, so she asked me to make her goodbyes.
I'm so happy for her.
Grace, you've made such fine progress. I'd hate to have anything stand in your way. As your doctor, I must ask you to limit your association with Mark.
Why?
Well, no matter how I phrase it, it'll sound harsh to you, but Mark is a dangerous man.
Dangerous?
Yes, very dangerous. There's no telling what he might do.
I don't understand.
My dear, Mark is a sick man. He's suffering an advanced persecution complex. Any incident might provoke him into committing an act of violence. I'm watching him carefully and trying to help. You must help too, my dear.
How can I help?
by avoiding any unnecessary conversation. Then he'll be free of any entangling emotions which might harm him.
I'll do as you ask, Doctor.
Good. We must look after you too, my dear.
You're so good to me, Dr. Conway.
As I should be. You need understanding and care. One so lovely as you should have the understanding and protection of a friend. But above all, you must disregard anything Mark may tell you.
I understand, Doctor.
Leave that girl alone.
What does that mean?
Grace, leave her alone.
You're sounding like a jealous woman.
That's exactly what I am, Charles. I love you, and I'm not going to have anything come between us.
Sharon. Sharon. Two people striving for such a great scientific achievement should not be quarreling. Nothing should ever come between us.
Charles,
Yes?
why can't she be our next subject? She's almost a perfect specimen, and you said we needed a good subject for our next experiment.
Not yet.
Why not?
It isn't the right time. But be assured, when the time comes, I shall not hesitate.
What do you want?
Grace, I'm sorry to break in like this, but it's my only chance to prove I'm telling you the truth.
Please get out.
Now, don't you understand I'm trying to help you? Look, I've got positive proof you'll have to believe.
Please leave me alone.
Now, look, I don't have time to argue with you. Here, put on this robe and come with me. Before this night's over, you're going to be convinced I'm right. There was a man here not 10 minutes ago.
Mark, please take me back upstairs.
I tell you, he was right here.
Mark, please.
No, Grace, not until we find that guy. Come.
Natalie. It's Natalie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Natalie.
It's horrible.
Easy now. You've got to take hold of yourself. I'm sorry you had to see her like this, but now maybe you'll believe me.
How could he?
Let's get you out of here. Come on.
Natalie.
Grace. Grace, we haven't time to think about that now. We've got to figure some way to get you out of this house.
I'm so afraid.
I know. Now listen, when I go out of this room, you lock the door and don't open it for anybody until I get back. You understand? Not for anybody.
I won't, Mark.
Good girl. Lock the door.
Who is it?
Mark, open up.
What do you want?
Danny, let's get one thing straight. I didn't come here to listen to you complain. You're in a jam, and I want to get you out of it.
I don't need any help.
Yes, you do. Now, listen to me. Conway's been working some crazy experiments here. He plans to use all of us as guinea pigs.
I don't believe it.
All right, don't, but stop and think, Danny. For once, really think. What's become of Natalie? Where is she? What's happened to her? Now, if I had time, I'd take you downstairs and show you I've seen her. She's in the cellar, and I've seen what Conway's done to her. He's turned her into a God knows what. She's all twisted. Her face looks like something out of a nightmare.
Why would he do a thing like that to Natalie?
Who knows why? Nothing matters to Conway but his crazy ideas. And believe me, Danny, what he's done to Natalie is only a sample of what he'll do to you, me, or anybody else he gets his hands on.
All right. All right, well, what can we do about it?
You can save your neck. You can get out of this house before it's too late, before Conway turns you into some kind of a horrible freak.
How? How? I've already tried.
I know, but don't worry about that. You do what I tell you, you'll get out all right. Look, it's 12:45. You go to bed and pretend you're asleep. At exactly 2 o'clock, you come downstairs. Grace and I'll meet you there.
Okay. 2 o'clock. I'll be there.
You'll be on time.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Have you just been downstairs?
No, I've been in my room. Why?
Are you sure?
Of course. Is there something wrong, Charles?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Charles, I'm worried about you. You've been working too hard. Is there something I can do to help you?
Yes, please leave me alone.
Why don't you try to get some rest? You'll feel so much better. Perhaps you'd like a glass of warm milk.
I'm not a child. I won't be pampered or mothered.
You need your rest, Charles.
I need nothing that I do not wish to need. Good night, Sharon.
Listen, you and Grace take the main road into town. Remember, stay in the shadows till you're clear of the house. Once you hit the highway, you'll be safe. I don't have to tell you both to move as fast as you can.
What about you, Mark?
Well, I'll make sure Conway doesn't follow. I'll catch up to you later.
You sure you'll be okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Now get out of here. Oh, and Danny.
Yeah.
Take good care of her, huh?
Yeah, okay.
Well, is this the way to repay my hospitality? Lobo, Sharon? Thank you. I admit your scheme was very clever, but I can't enjoy watching my kindnesses abused. I suppose I should have turned you over to the police in the first place. Would it surprise you all to know that Mark is an escaped killer and a thief to whom I offered sanctuary? It's true. And you, Grace, the fact that you turned against me is the greatest shock of all.
That could have been a convincing story, Doc, but now it's too late. Why don't you just tell them why they're really here?
Take them away. Downstairs, Lobo. Sharon, see that they're secure and then join me upstairs. Not you, my dear. Keep going, Mark. Upstairs.
Keep them here till I come back. Understand?
Danny, take a look at this. That's Natalie.
Follow my play. I've got an idea.
Watch yourself.
Hey, Curly. Seen a Sleeping Beauty in there? You know, just like in a storybook, where the girl is real pretty, like Natalie. And she's sleeping all the time, because she had a spell put on her by this giant in the castle.
The giant?
Now, this giant, he's got a bull. And the bull's name is Ferdinand.
Ferdinand?
Yeah, Ferdinand. Now, Ferdinand, he doesn't like the beautiful red cape that the giant has. So he tries to get it. But the giant, he just takes the cape and he waves it right in front of the bull. Now, the bull, he gets madder and madder. And he rushes right at the cape. But the giant, he just takes the cape and he throws it over the bull.
Go on, Danny.
Yeah, all right, go ahead. I'll follow you.
You sure you can make it alone?
Yeah, I'll be all right. Go on.
She's well under. Prepare her.
Stay right there, Conway.
You think that gun is really necessary? We could talk so much easier if you put the gun away.
Maybe so, but you keep your hands on top of the desk.
Very well, Mark. The situation seems to have altered slightly.
More than slightly. I've got the gun. Conway, how long do you think you could go on destroying people before somebody stopped you?
Destroy? I destroy? This from you, a killer. A man hunted by the police. I was about to give the world the gift of eternal life.
Eternal life? You deny you mutilated innocent human beings. You transformed them into creatures so hideous they'd be better off dead?
Deny, I deny nothing. Who are you to question the usefulness of my experiments in relation to the future? I'm holding a new civilization in my hand. A happy world about to be thrown open to a humanity that would die. Not you nor anyone else can stop me.
Save that for the jury.
Jury? Oh, but of course. I must admit you took me in completely. A policeman. I never thought.
You weren't supposed to. Let's go.
Now, I suppose I have no choice.
Operator, this is an emergency. Get me to the sheriff's office, quick. Hello, Casey, this is a code 3, Lieutenant Houston. Now, look, I want you to notify Reagan, get the boys out here fast. Yeah, they know where I am. Now, get them rolling.
What's the pitch, Mark?
It's Conway. He was out there somewhere. I lost him.
We better split up. Kennedy, you go that way.
George, I've got an idea. I'm going to check the house.
All right, good deal. Come on, let's go.
No. You're dead. I had you buried. I know you're dead.
Bravo! Reagan?
Well, it looks like somebody saved the state some money. Who's this guy?
Fellow named Jedro. Conway tried to bury him alive. You know, it's ironic. I pulled him out of his grave, and he ends up like this. Oh, and this is Conway's assistant. Dr. Gilchrist, what did you do with Miss Thomas?
She's in the lab.
George, get the cuffs on him.
Captain, you'd better come down to the cellar.
What is it, Ed?
You got to see for yourself. If I told you, you'd never believe it.
Okay, let's go.
Grace. Grace, wake up. Come on. Snap out of it now. Come on. That's a little better. That's it. Listen, it's all right. Everything's all right now. There's nothing more to worry about.
I've checked him. He's dead. This way, sir. This way. Captain, what are we going to do with them?
It's a good thing we have institutions that'll take good care of them for the rest of their lives. Good Lord. What if they do live forever? Lieutenant, who is this?
Lieutenant?
Captain Reagan, this is Miss Grace Thomas. She was one of Conway's patients.
Grace Thomas? You know how glad I am to see you, young lady. You had us dragging the bay for 2 days. We almost had you marked off as a suicide.
Suicide?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good way to explain a disappearance. Captain, you better get out a pickup on a Dr. Loren Wright. He's the fellow that brought Miss Thomas here, and he probably brought the others, too.
Yeah, I'll get out a call right away. Come on, Miller. We have a lot of work to do.
Lieutenant Houston.
Mark.
Mark, will you please take me home?
Yeah. Yeah, of course I will. That's part of my job.
I see.
Hey.
Cartoons, usually found in your television set. Today, however, they will appear inside your radio. This is Watch Waddle Tunes on the Baba Ghoulie Show. Ladies and gentlemen, Twisted Peanuts!
I got a rock!
Rock!
I got a rock!
Rock!
I got a rock!
Rock!
The following is a PSA from Watch Waddle Productions. Now that autumn is here, be prepared for the day of mischievous pranks and disobedient escapades. That is, October 30th.
Happy cabbage nighting!
Halloween Eve. Before the tricks and the treats, there is Cabbage Night. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We now return you to the Baba Ghoulie Show on OTR Halloween Holidays.
Hello, funny face. You.
Looks like a burial.
In the road?
Driver, what is it?
It's a funeral, mademoiselle. They're afraid of the men who steal dead bodies. So they dig the grave in the middle of the road. Their people pass all of the time. Well, that's a cheerful introduction for you to our West Indies. Do you know where is the house of Monsieur Beaumont? Zombie! Allez vite! Allez!
It's got like hands clutching you.
Why did you drive like that, you fool? We might have been killed.
Worse than that, monsieur. We might have been caught.
Caught? By whom? Those men you spoke to?
They are not men, monsieur. They are dead bodies.
Dead?
Yes, monsieur. Zombies. The living dead. Corpses taken from their graves. Or made to work in sugar mills, in fields at night. Look! Here they come!
Look. Look.
Excuse me, please. Have you got a match? Did I frighten you?
I'm sorry. I'm ugly enough, I suppose.
No, it wasn't you. Something happened back on the road there. We stopped to speak to some men. Our driver told us they weren't men at all. He said they were corpses. Corpses? Surely you don't believe it, do you?
No. I don't know. Haiti is full of nonsense and superstition. They're always mixed up with a lot of mysteries that turn your hair gray. I've been a missionary here for, 30 years, and at times, I don't know what to think. Come, let's go in the house.
Oh, yes.
Huh?
Come, Dick.
Is Mr. Beaumont in?
You're expected, Dr. Bruner.
Yes, I've been sent for to marry someone. Maybe, oh, yes, excuse me. How long is it that you know Mr. Beaumont?
Oh, only a few days. Madeline introduced him on the docks in Port-au-Prince.
And you?
I met him on the ship coming from New York. He was very kind during the voyage.
So Madeline and I planned to be married the moment she arrived. But Mr. Beaumont persuaded us to come here. He promised to take me out of the bank at Port-au-Prince and send me to New York as his agent.
Strange. Very strange.
I'll tell Mr. Beaumont you're here.
It's all right, isn't it, Doctor?
Oh, I guess so. You see, I've only met Mr. Beaumont once or twice, but he never struck me like a man that would take the trouble to play fairy godfather to a young couple like you. Unless...
Unless what, sir?
I suppose you'll think I'm a meddling old fool, but... You know, I'd feel a good deal better if you'd clear out of this place
after you're married and have nothing more to do with Mr. Bowman.
The young people have arrived, sir, and Dr. Brunner. They're waiting in the reception hall.
Show them to their room and tell them I'm out.
Yes.
No, wait. Perhaps I'd better see them. It might look odd if I didn't.
Very odd, sir. Especially as Dr. Brunner is a trifle skeptical as to your motives, sir.
Never mind my motives. Has that other person sent word yet?
No, sir, not yet.
He's 24 hours late.
I wish you'd keep away from that man, sir. He'll make trouble for you.
You needn't worry about that. I'm not afraid of him.
I'm not easily frightened, sir. You should know that. But what you're planning is dangerous.
Don't you suppose I know that, Silver? You don't seem to realize what this girl means to me. Why, I'd sacrifice anything I have in the world for her. Nothing matters if I can't have her.
I think you like Haiti. Most people that...
Oh, Madeline, I'm delighted to see you. Neil, you're more than welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Doctor, it was very kind of you to come. I know what a busy man you are.
No, not at all. There's a native family live out here that I've been trying to see for a long time. After this young couple are safely married, I'll leave.
But surely you'll stay for dinner after the ceremony.
No, I must run along.
Well, that's a great pity. We had something very special prepared for this occasion. It was very good of you, Madeline, to humor the whim of a lonely man. There was so little time to prepare. I couldn't do half the things I wanted to for you.
You've done more than enough already, Mr. Beaumont, for a comparative, giving Neil a position in the state.
Neil?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sure Neil will make a very good agent. But you must be tired after your drive. You'll get some rest. Silver! Silver will show you to your rooms.
This way, please.
Delighted to see you again, Monsieur Beaumont.
Please. Please.
I'm sorry that kept you waiting, monsieur. I have been on a journey, seeking men for my mill. Men? They work faithfully. They are not worried about long hours. You could make good use of men like mine on your plantation.
No. That's not what I want.
Then perhaps you wish to talk about the young lady who came to your house this evening.
You've seen her? When?
On the road tonight. There was a young man.
They're to be married tonight. You've waited too long to do anything.
What do you want me to do?
If she were to disappear for a month.
What do you hope to gain by her disappearance?
Everything.
Everything. Do you think she will forget her lover in a month?
Just give me a month. One little month.
Not in a month. Not even a year, monsieur. I have looked into her eyes. She is deep in love. But not with you.
They're to be married within an hour. There must be a way.
There is a way. The cost is heavy.
You give me what I want, and you may ask anything. No. Not that.
Only a pinpoint, Monsieur Beaumont, in a glass of wine, or perhaps a flower. Take it. The time is very brief. You must do your share if I'm to help you. Keep it, monsieur. Keep it. You may change your mind. Send me word when you use it.
I'll find another way.
There is no other way. more than anything else in this whole world, dear. Heaven or hell lies in this little woman for me. You can raise me up to paradise, or you can blast my world into nothingness. There's time even yet, dear. I can make you the envy of every woman. I'd give my life to make you happy. Oh, listen to me, dear, before it's too late.
Don't. Please.
Don't go into that room. We can be in Port-au-Prince in half an hour. There's a boat sailing at midnight.
You've been so wonderful. Don't spoil everything now.
One last gift before I lose you forever.
We are gathered together here in the sight of God and in the face of this company to join together this man, this woman in holy matrimony. Stay. Toast to the bride, to beauty's queen. Gladly, my lord. Leave but a kiss within the glass. Fair gypsy, lead my fortune. What do you see in the glass?
I see happiness. I see love. Far more than you deserve.
Is that all?
No. I see
what is it?
I see death.
Madeline. Madeline, what's wrong? Madeline, my dear, please.
Oh, no.
Madeline! Madeline! Can't we do something? Please. Madeline!
My wife. My wife.
Zombies? Yes. They are my servants. Did you think we could do it alone? In their lifetime, they were my enemies. I know the witch doctor. Once my master. Secrets I tortured out of him. Vangelder, the swine, swollen with riches. He fought against my spells until the last. Him, yes, I have troubled tight. His Excellency Richard, once Minister of the Interior. Garcia, Brigand Chief. Marquis, Captain of Gendarmerie. And this is Chauvin, the High Executioner, who almost executed me. I took them, just as we will take this one. But what if they regain their souls? They would tear me to pieces. And that, my friend, shall never be.
Madeline.
Madeline!
There's two explanations that strike me. Either the body was stolen by members of a death cult that use human bones in their ceremonies, or else...
Or else what?
She's not dead.
Not dead? Are you mad? I saw her die. The doctor signed a certificate. I saw them bury her.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm not mad. But I've lived in these islands for a good many years. And I've seen things with my eyes that made me think I was crazy. There's superstitions in Haiti that the natives brought here from Africa. Some of them can be traced back as far as ancient Egypt. And beyond that yet, in the countries that was old when Egypt was young.
Yes, but what has that to do with Madeline? I kissed her as she lay there in the coffin. And her lips were cold.
Let me explain. Now, just a minute. I'll explain. Wherever there is a superstition, you will find there is also a practice. Now, do you remember what your driver told you the night he took you to Beaumont's house?
Oh, about those horrible creatures we saw.
Yeah.
He said they were corpses, taken from their graves.
That's it. Now, wait. Now, that's the superstition. Now for the practice. The ghouls that steal the dead corpses from the graves are supposed to put them there in the first place.
Do you mean that Madeline was murdered so that somebody could steal her dead body?
Ah, nonsense. No. Not her body, yes, but not her dead body. That's what it is.
Well, surely you don't think she's alive in the hands of natives? Oh, no, better dead than that.
Excuse me, please. Have you got a match? Thank you.
You don't believe that, do you?
Say, there's been lots of people that's been pronounced dead that came alive again and lived for years. Now, if nature can play pranks like that, why isn't it possible to play pranks with nature?
Oh, I don't know.
Your driver believed he saw dead men walking. He didn't. What he saw was men alive in everything but this and this.
Oh, the whole thing has me confused. I just can't understand it.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I've been trying for years to get to the bottom of this thing. To separate what you call fact from fiction. The law of Haiti acknowledges the possibility of being buried alive. Here it is in the penal code. I'll read it for you. It's in French. Do you speak French?
No.
Excuse me, please. Have you got a match?
Right here. Here's one.
Oh, thanks. I didn't see it. I'll translate it for you, if you spell it. Article 149. The use of drugs or other practices which produce lethargic coma or lifeless sleep shall be considered attempted murder.
Yes.
Attempted.
Yes, I see.
Yeah, all right, all right. If the person has been buried alive, the act should be considered murder, no matter what result follows.
Beaumont. Say, you said that you couldn't understand why he was so interested in us. Do you think he did this?
No. No, I think it's native work. Native work, exactly. Of course, if you want to, we can go to Beaumont's house first. If I can get my hands on the devil that's responsible for this, I'll make him such an example that every witch doctor in Haiti will be shaken in his sandals.
But we can't do this alone. Can't the authorities help?
Authorities? Neil, my boy, you don't know these islands. The native authorities are afraid to meddle. I'm not. I got friends among the natives. They'll tell me things that no gendarme could ever get out of. Because I'm a preacher, they think I'm a magician. Before we get through with this thing, we may uncover sins that even the devil would be ashamed of. Oh, these witch doctors.
Foolish things. They can't bring back the light to those eyes. I was mad to do this. But if you'd have smiled on me, I'd have done anything for you, given you anything. I thought that beauty alone would satisfy. But the soul is gone. I can't bear those empty, staring eyes. Oh, forgive me, Madeline, forgive me. I can't bear it any longer. I must take you back.
Back to the grave, monsieur?
No. You must put the light back into her eyes and bring laughter to her lips.
She must be gay and happy again. You paint a charming picture, monsieur. One that I should like to see myself. You must bring her back. Aren't you a trifle afraid, monsieur? How do you suppose those eyes will regard you when the brain is able to understand? Better to see hatred in them than that dreadful emptiness. Perhaps you're right. It would be a pity to destroy such a lovely flower. Let's drink to the future of this flower. A glass of wine? Silver, bring wine. We have a toast to drink. To the future, monsieur. Only a pinpoint, monsieur, in a flower, or perhaps a glass of wine. What are you trying to do to me? I have other plans for mademoiselle. I'm afraid you might not agree. I have taken a fancy to you, monsieur. Silver! Silver! To the future, monsieur.
Vulture. You. No, not that. Not that.
We ought to be picking up an old witch doctor around here pretty soon. His name is Pierre. I've known him for years. He's a great old fellow. I don't know just where we'll find him.
Come, son. There are evil spirits in the road. I will give you an awanga. And here is one for the young man, he's sick with fever.
Yes, hey, wait a minute. We can't afford to have you sick. Neil, why don't you go over there? We got a hard day before us tomorrow. Now then, Pierre, come on. He's gone. We can talk.
It is a dangerous thing you asked me to do.
Oh, well, now, listen here, you know. We're old friends, you and me, and I want to go on.
Turn back before it is too late.
No. I've come too far to turn back now.
I'm too old to go all the way with you.
Well, listen. Can't you get somebody to go with us?
My people are afraid of the mountain.
Why?
Because it is called the land of the living dead.
Well, have you ever been there?
I am the only man that ever came from there alive. There is an evil spirit man that is called murder. Come, I can tell you all about what it is.
Vultures. Just as old Pierre said, a cloud of vultures always hovers over the house of the living dead.
Madeline, is she there?
No.
Oh, I must go and see.
No. Neil, my boy. Please, lie down and rest. Please. You'll feel stronger in the morning. You rest. Let me go up and see what I can do.
Why is she so restless tonight? Perhaps she remembers something. They never remember anything when they are like that. No? Because he's cut off.
Madeline! Madeline!
No. I can't. You must. It's your turn. Let's run away. Steve might hear you. No, I can't stand it. I'm going to run away. He'll find you and make you like her.
Can you still hear me? It is unfortunate you are no longer able to speak. I should be interested to hear you describe your symptoms. You see, you are the first man to know what is happening. None of the others did. You refused to shake hands once. I remember. Well. We understand each other better now.
Madeline, I found you. You're alive. Alive.
What's the matter? It's I, Neil. Oh, my darling. What have they done to you? Who are you? And what are they? For you, my friend, they are the angels of death. Madeline, don't you know me, dear? It's Neil.
I could swear. For a moment, she recognized you. Come on, don't let him get away.
Madeline, my darling.
I dreamed.
Excuse me, please. Have you got a match?
This is Watch Waddle Cartoons on the Baba Ghoulie Radio Show, signing off for the evening.